What's up, everyone? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and here we are just on the cusp of E3 or E3, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going out of the way to pronounce that over the top TH sound because my accent doesn't allow it. Anyway, here we are, one and a bit days before it. It's currently 8 p.m. on Saturday, the 12th of June. So, E3 is a little over 24 hours away. I think the very first show for me on my time zone is like 2 in the morning on Sunday night, Sunday to Monday. So, yeah, it's a little over 24 hours away. I'll probably be staying up late and watching them as usual. I did mention in a previous video that I'm not going to do a whole thing like I did last year with all the entire kind of coverage on each conference. I'll pick one or two things that I was really happy about and really want to talk about and all when it actually comes up, essentially. But yeah, it's pretty much how it's gonna go. I am working on Monday. I'm working on Sunday, but it doesn't matter. I'm working Monday as well, so the videos aren't gonna be till later ish. I know I'm gonna be watching them in work. I think the first one starts at like 5 o'clock my time, so I'm gonna spend the last hour of work just watching whatever E3 conference is on. I can't remember who it is. I think it might be Microsoft's. I have the list somewhere else, but I'll check all that too anyway. So it's gonna be good stuff over the next couple of days. We're obviously gonna see all the big announcements. We're gonna get more info on the big stuff that we already know, some stuff that we don't know, some just whatever in general, really, as well as, of course, some big announcements on stuff that doesn't exist, some stuff that we know of but doesn't really exist, kind of thing. We know stuff that like PlayStation Neo or Codename Neo, whatever you want to call it, it does exist officially as of a few days ago. Obviously, we all knew it existed, but it officially exists as of yesterday. And we know that for the most part, it's probably not going to be at E3. It's probably the same. I can imagine Microsoft have allegedly have two new Xboxes coming out. There's the possibly the slim revision of the current Xbox One, which, if anything, we would hear about. And then there's the rumored Project Scorpio, which is the more allegedly more powerful Xbox, which I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't hear about, but we'll see how it goes anyway. And then there's the whole Nintendo NX situation where they've basically said that it's not going to make an appearance. They may actually talk about it. They said it won't make an appearance, but it might still actually get talked about anyway. But that brings us back to the whole thing. Out of all the stuff that's been announced and what we're expecting and the leaks and the pre-leaks and the pre-announcements and the pre-releases and the teasers for trailers of announcements, Ubisoft, get the fuck together. Like, it's ridiculous with your fucking watchdog shit. Anyway, with all that stuff, I mean, we all know some of the big stuff is here. Watch Dogs 2 is just off the top of my head on that one. We've a bunch of other stuff from all the others. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of Battlefield 1 coverage. There's going to be Call of Duty Infinite Warfare coverage. We'll probably see a lot more about the Call of Duty 4 remaster. There'll be plenty of stuff out there. There's the rumored Prey 2. There's the rumored Skyrim Definitive Edition. There's going to be more on Dishonored 2, which is out later this year. So it's not just stuff that we barely know about. There's obviously talking about stuff that has a lot of coverage and it's out fairly soon. I'm sure the EA conference, for example, they're going to have a lot of stuff about FIFA. They're going to have a lot of stuff about Madden. They're going to have a lot of stuff about whatever. It's going to be the same with 2K. They're going to have their WWE 2K17, their NHL 2K17, NBA 2K17. It's going to be all the usual stuff. On top of all that, there's a bunch of rumors and all floating around too. Like there's a rumor going around at the moment that we could have Red Dead Redemption 2. There's talk of a Red Dead Redemption 1 remaster for Xbox One, PS4, and possibly a PC version of it. I don't know if you could really call it a remaster on the PC, really, because they never released it on that because apparently they lost all the code back in the day when they were porting the regular version over. So I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. There's plenty of stuff that could happen. Like there's the big thing as well that a lot of people are wondering too is the potential big expansion single player story based DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. There's rumors that it's going to be Liberty City. There's rumors that it could be in Los Santos as it is and the surrounding area like the GTA world, but chances are I see it's so weird because if they were to go and create a whole new city and all that stuff as well, even if it was a city of the same size or a playable world of the same size as GTA 5. You could almost call that another game, like another GTA 6, or something like that. Now, fair enough, they could go on the whole spin-off thing. They could call it like Los Santos Stories or whatever they want to call it. But there is a rumor that it's called like Return to Liberty City or a couple of other things. So that would naturally be a huge announcement. So we're obviously, that's the thing. A lot of people, myself included, would be very, very hyped for, because I love GTA 5. I just recently, when I say recently, I mean the last like couple of maybe 2 months, I've got big back into GTA 5 as well. I've been playing on a PS4 with a bunch of my friends. I played through the whole single player and all as well, and again, and we started doing the heists and all that stuff as well. So I do really significantly enjoy that game. So on top of all the stuff that we already know about and we already can't wait to see more, there's obviously going to be some PlayStation VR stuff there as well. But on top of all the stuff that we know is coming out and all that, some of the things that we hope to see, like, yeah, we're going to see more of Final Fantasy 15. We're probably going to see some more of Kingdom Hearts 3. We will probably see The Last Guardian and some big progress updates on Shenmue 3. And yeah, the list could go on. I'm 6 minutes into this video at this point, and I've pretty much just been going into detail on everything we know about, and like we could go on all day about the whole thing. So I'm just going to leave that part there, and I'm going to go on to the actual main part of this video. So the main part of this video is, what is your, I want to say number one. What would your number one dream expectation be for the C3? Now, it can be based on multiple things. It can be current, like what you're digging right now at the time. Would it be something relevant to that? Would it be a revival of a big series that of your favorite game that just died 20 years ago and they never continued on with? Maybe it's something that you're just really looking forward to, that they've teased like once or twice, and that sounds amazing. I want to see more of that. Or if you could just pick whatever you want, be it software, be it something in a new series, and picking up, like I said, an old franchise and just properly continuing on. Like, I know there's so many things I could pick just out of all of that. I could say a proper sequel or a proper new entry in the Chrono Trigger. Well, I won't say Chrono Trigger series, but the Chrono series. For anyone out there who's probably about to say, but what about I Am Setsuna? No, I'm not including that one, as good as it looks. But yeah, like a proper entry in the Chrono series. I could pick up and just say it's a proper entry in the Breath of Fire series, a proper entry in the Secret of Mana series. Secret of Mana being my favorite game ever, so it was easily enough to just throw that in there. We've seen a lot of the big ones as well. Shenmue 3 last year was announced as the Kickstarter during Sony's conference, and because of that, naturally, it was massively funded almost instantly. And yeah, so that game is actually existing. There's a Final Fantasy 7 remake, same deal as well. Myself included, that would have been right near the very top of my list of like kind of dream announcements. So what would your one be? Be it like some sort of feature that Microsoft could add to the Xbox, Sony could add to the PlayStation, maybe some accessory, peripheral, new hardware, whatever the fuck it is. You throw it out there anyway as whatever your particular one is. Having said that, I will throw out my one as well, okay? So right now, at the moment, I would... there's rumors that this has been finished for a couple of years. There's rumors that it's been finished for 2 years. There's also another story out there on why it's taking so long. But my number one kind of dream announcement for E3 this year, sure, there's loads of other stuff that I'd love, as I covered a second ago, but it would completely make my entire E3 or probably my entire 2016, if they announced the Shenmue HD collection. For the simple reason is, obviously Shenmue 3 is coming out, it's actually happening at some point, probably the end of next year. But having said all that, it would be the perfect time to release it, and I've really been digging those games again lately. And because of that, it would be fantastic to be able to play like a HD remaster of them. I still have Shenmue. I still have my old Shenmue games. I've got Shenmue 1 on the Dreamcast. I've got Shenmue 2 on Dreamcast and Xbox. So yeah, I could technically do that, but it would be so much easier and all as well, just to do this. And it would be nice, not just for myself, but for other people who I would love to experience this game for this type of series for the first time. See where, like, if you only joined in games on like the PS2 gen, late in the PS2 gen, or maybe, you know, in the 360 PS3 era, or maybe this is your first console generation at all, or your first gaming generation basically, you know, you might not know where a lot of this stuff comes from. And sure, some of it will probably seem a little dated to you at this point, but with the fact of Shenmue 3 coming out, so many people are just going to be, okay, you know, what happened beforehand? What's all this? And it would give all those people a chance to experience this for the first time. And of course, there'll be tons of people out there who have played it already, and it will give them much easier access, or possibly a little bit of a better time of enjoyment going back and actually playing them in a style through this. You know, they could maybe release it on, you know, maybe release a Shenmue HD collection on PS4 and PC, and you know, your stuff from Shenmue 1 might carry to Shenmue 2, which would carry to Shenmue 3. Same deal, you know, there's stuff on there as well that can obviously affect it. So that would be my dream announcement anyway. I like I said a minute ago, there is rumors that has been finished for like 2 or 3 years. There's also rumors on why it's taking so long, in a sense of why it's taking so long would be licensing and all. But it's essentially stuff like Casio watches, some of the old Sega arcade games, some of the, oh, what was the other one? Coca-Cola machines as well, because not many people notice. I actually only found this out a couple of weeks ago, but in the Japanese version of the game, all the vending machines were actually Coca-Cola vending machines. Now, being a European, I didn't know that, because when the game came out over here, they were just kind of generic, off-brand, made-up kind of designs and logos and stuff. Now, they were still red and white, but they weren't the same Coca-Cola design, and they weren't the same, you know, Coca-Cola logo. So I didn't know that at the time. Naturally, Ryozuki's watch is a Casio watch as well. It's like when you look that up, it's an actual legitimate Casio replica and all. It actually has the Casio logos and all on it too. So if they couldn't get the design for, or the licensing and all for that, they naturally have to change the skin and how it works and remove the logo and all, change the design. And then you have stuff like the Sega games in the I think it's called Game On or Game U. I can't remember if it's Game On or Game U, but either way, the arcade in the actual game itself, in Shenmue itself, you could play many, many retro Sega games. So naturally, there's some licensing issues there. So you'd have to be able to either change them with something newer or remove them. I don't think they'd remove them completely, because it would feel like they're modifying the old game too much and that they were taking something out. So because of all that, is why it's allegedly taking so long. It's all supposedly licensing issues, because inside information has basically said for 2 or 3 years now that the 2 games are finished and remastered. So that could be how it is anyway. But this video has gone on way too long, so I'm going to end it there and just say Shenmue HD Collection 1 and 2, Xbox One, PS4, PC, Xbox One, I just say for the sake of having all 3 of them. There are rumors that Shenmue 4 will not be coming to Xbox One. Unconfirmed, just saying it out there at the moment. It's based on all the wording and all that stuff. So yeah, Shenmue HD Collection, Sega, make it happen. Give me it on PC, give me it on Xbox One, give me it on PS4, whatever, you know. It's the perfect time to do it in the run up to Shenmue 3. Perfect time to drum up hype for Shenmue 3, as well as the fact that the upcoming Shenmue 3 would also drum up hype for the HD collection. So make it happen. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite possible dream announcement could be, or whatever, because I don't want to drag this on for too long. So let me know all that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter. Details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.